How's it going, Sha?
Fine. 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 Yes. Yeah. Everything's all right.
That's good to hear. I like
Yeah.
it. I don't know enough about horoscope stuff,
Okay. All
you
right.
know.
Let's go. Strap in. What's going on?
But I've been curious if like certain like things that I felt or wanted to do were indicative of what I am. So I'm gonna say them,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let you analyze and the audience analyze if this is like Scorpio behavior.
Oh, that's right. Because you still think you a Scorpio. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna bring up Libra as well
Go for it. Go for it.
because you cuspy. But okay.
Yeah, we out here. Okay.
All right.
All right. First, uh, I went to one of those. I was with my kids and my wife. We was running errands. It's like 3 p.m. None of the errands went as planned.
Okay.
Okay, they got done, but stuff kept like happening, and I kept powering through them. But
Mhm.
they were all getting done, but they all required more than they should have. So by 3 p.m., I had already used up a day's worth of patience.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It happens sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now, Gabby had spent the day with us. I had spent the day with us, obviously. So neither one of us had like had the energy to cook, and we didn't take anything out. So I was like, "Yo, let's get some Popeyes." We take the day off from cooking. I drive
Okay.
into a Popeyes parking lot. Parking lot got space for like 200 cars, Sha. Crazy big
Okay.
parking lot. Crazy big
Okay.
parking lot. Uh, I couldn't figure out if this was a Burger King only parking lot, or like if they had a Burger King side and a Popeye side, or if it was
Okay.
just a universal parking lot.
Gotcha.
So we went back and forth for a little bit. Eventually, I said, "Nah, it doesn't matter. There's 190 spots open."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I parked against the wall of the connected chain restaurants.
Okay.
I go inside. I pre-ordered my stuff at a stoplight so it
Mm.
could be ready.
Mhm.
Right? I show up. There's a line. So I'm like, yo, I'm actually just here to pick up. They're like, you still
Mhm.
gotta wait the line. I said, cool. You know what I mean? I don't agree with that, but you got your system. I ain't gonna fight you right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wait. There's 4 people in front of me. 2 people go. There's 2 people left. And I get a text from Gabby. She's like, yo, somebody just banged on the door and said we got to move the car because where we parked is technically the beginning of the drive-through, and we're blocking the drive-through.
Okay.
And I'm like, now in her tone and in her version of it,
Mhm.
she said, this did happen, but the tone of her text was like, I don't give a shit. Like, take your time. Like, there's no one driving into the
Okay.
drive-through. But she was
Uh-huh.
like, I'm just letting you know, like, the stupid thing happened that
Right.
she found funny.
Mhm.
I just read it in like, this is what's going on. So I was like, yo, who the fuck telling me to move
Mhm.
when that drive-through space fits like 8 cars? So like, even if in theory I'm somewhat in the front of the drive-through, I'm definitely not blocking the drive-through. A.
Okay.
B, Gabby just texted me, said there's no cars in the drive-through.
Mhm.
C, I'm in the split restaurant. There's 4 customers, they all at Popeyes. Nobody is at your Burger King, my G, on either front, in front of
Okay.
house or in back of house. You know what I mean? No one there. Why you
Okay.
and you bothering my wife? So like, she sent me that text, and like the Popeyes line is taking long. I'm feeling
Mhm.
worried about the fam, so I go over there. I like, you know what? Let me move the car. I keep it to myself. I move the car. I get out the car and I'm a little angry because I did it.
Mhm.
I wait this second line again. I get the food. I come inside with the food. I hand it to Gabby, and I'm angry.
Mhm.
I want to spaz, and like I just started saying aggressively, like, I love my kids. I love my kids. I love y'all. Y'all know that? I love my kids. I would
Okay.
have handled this
Okay.
differently.
Hold on.
But I'm so happy
Okay.
y'all here. And
Okay. All right.
Ada was like, "Yeah, what are you talking about?" I was like, this would have gone down so differently. But I'm happy
Mhm.
you here.
Mhm.
And I let it go. I didn't do nothing.
Mhm. Okay.
Gabby was very proud of us. Very proud
Oh,
of me. She
Uh-huh.
was like, "You did great. You didn't lose your temper, and we had a good day." But
Uh-huh.
I've thought about it, and like I don't know if other people get mad at stuff like that.
Yeah, they do. Other
Yeah.
hotheads get mad at shit like that. They ain't got nothing. Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, you fucking yes, they do. They get mad. Okay. I would I understand. I get it. That shit is very annoying. And um nobody is more territorial than someone who has to share space with some other entity that's getting more business.
right.
So I'm sure that you weren't upsetting anything, but I also am sure that you probably parked in some sort of foggy area
Yeah,
that if you were to go out there and confront whatever Burger King person it was, first off, they would have to be out there to see you do it and be like, that's not right. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
no customer is going to be like, I think that's he's in the if there's no one in the drive-through, no customer is going to be like, you definitely are blocking the drive-through. That's certainly someone that's the king, the queen, came out and saw that shit and got mad. So if you came out, you would have had it out with a burger person. So that's that's what that situation was. That would have been annoying. Here's where I mean, it's good that you just went ahead and moved it. That's
Yeah,
a big step on just letting it go, just like because you're never going to win with that person.
right. I felt
Because
like,
that,
like
yeah,
this is gonna be a blow up that isn't fair. If it
yes,
escalate, like everything in my heart shot was like, yo, go to the car, park it in front of the window, and then go back inside anyway. Like
right,
everything in my heart wanted to do that.
uh
But
huh,
I was like, this is wrong. Um,
yeah,
he's like, however small it was and however avoidable it is and not an issue, I did the
hmm,
wrong thing. So I had to talk myself down. And
right,
I'm trying to be a good example to my kids. While I genuinely like want to be angry a lot more often than they realize,
hmm.
they think I'm calm. Like I'm for the most part pretty chill.
Which I mean, that skews everything. They really, when they get
Yo,
out into the world,
like I
boy, oh
think
boy.
yo, real talk. Like when they talk to like people that know me from before, and they're like,
Hmm.
"Yo, your pops is a wild dude." They're like, "Dad, like for real?" Yes, that's all here. Like every day is
Yes,
just me like
right, yeah,
holding that because I don't want you to deal with this because they don't tell you the stupid side of that story. You know what I mean?
hmm.
They just tell you the silly thing Dad did as a fun memory today. You know what I
And
mean?
not that
Not,
we watched our dad get walked away in handcuffs by a
you
cop with
know,
a giant crown on.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
we had some, yo. So like I'm like, yo, like I don't want to be that man anymore, and I don't want y'all to be that ever. So when
hmm,
I'm angry, like I'm trying to like genuinely think of that. Like I can't, I'm not gonna lose my temper. I want my kid to be better. So I'm gonna
right.
show them that you cannot be that.
So here is where I would make a slight recommendation
Okay.
in how you handle that. Perhaps don't chant out loud, I love my kids. I love my, I love y'all, right? That's literally what someone says before they drive a whole family into a pond. Like, don't,
That's fair. That's fair.
that is when
Good
it
note.
becomes like, what's wrong with dad? Do you see what I mean?
That's a good note. That's fair.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is when, if there's another way
Yeah.
to have that affirmation play out inside.
Okay.
And I don't know if how many deep breaths you took,
Yeah.
but if with a deep breath in, a cleansing breath in, and then the negative out, the cleansing breath in is just like I love my kids out, or if you want to breathe in the name of one child and breathe out the name of another, you know what I mean? Like
I like that.
do a thing, but internally, so that your kid's last memory of you before you're driven away on a razor scooter by a rent-a-cop is you saying I love you. I love you, right? In the angriest tone. I do all this for you. Don't do that. I think is perhaps where the change, where
Okay,
there could be a little bit of an adjustment.
that's
But
fair.
overall, I think you probably handled that right. That's the only note I
Okay,
have.
okay, I'll
That's the
work on
only network note I have is like maybe don't spook your kids.
that. I'll work on that, Sha. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
real talk,
Mhm.
But yeah, I felt like me and Gabby talked it over, and like
Mhm.
she was like, overall, I gotta say I'm proud. She's like, you would have handled that differently in our 20s.
Sure.
Um, she's like, you had you had several chances to lose your shit. Like when you came out, you moved the car. You didn't do something stupid with the car.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? She was like, that like that's so much what I wanted to do that Gabby was like, I thought you was gonna move the car in front of the drive in front of the window. I was like, everything in my heart told me to do that. Block it. Like no one's getting food on this drive through.
Yeah.
Cause like I wanted to like, and she was like, she knows me so well that like it wasn't even about being a jerk about blocking other customers. It would have been
Mhm.
to prove the point that there were no customers. But she was
Mm.
like, if you would have moved the car there and no one came, you would have had a argument about how unbusy this drive is. Like, exactly, you get me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. None of that
But
matters.
none of that matters. I
None
was
of
like,
that matters to someone who is petty enough to knock on the window of a car and say, "You have to move this. You're blocking our
yo,
extremely unserious business." So
yo,
you see, so like you you acknowledge, you saw where there's a losing end of it.
yeah. I was like, yo,
So yeah,
I
like,
get it. I'm gonna let it go. You know what I mean?
and I think with time, I don't know. I mean, I'm angry a lot, a lot. I'm not someone who acts on anything. Again, lazy, so lazy. But, but, um, I understand these urges of just like, and especially in the car. I am honestly the chillest I've ever been in regard to transportation here in New York because
Hell
you just
yeah,
kind of have to let it go.
yeah,
I go home to Atlanta and I rent a car so I can drive because I need to drive to make sure I can do it. And I like driving. And
right.
I am in the car. I'm not even out of the parking lot of the fucking Enterprise before I am cursing someone out. Like, no one can hear. I'm in the car,
Yeah.
but right? And just immediately. And I'm like, damn, that's a shame, Shalewa. But also, I miss this. And so, um, but as you get older, you'll be able to kind of identify, I hope, identify these
Yeah.
things faster, and you'll just be like, okay, whatever, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you'll kind of take pity on the people who are this pet. You're just like, all right, I see you. And that's where I am right now. When someone's just all, "Ah, rah, rah," I'm like, oh, I mean,
Yeah.
this is your battle. It's not my battle. I'll do a thing to keep you from continuing to talk to me. So
Right,
if
right.
me moving my car out of the way keeps us from engaging any further, where are my keys? You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? Like, how do I get you out of my life? Oh, is that
Yeah.
all I got to do? Great. I'll do that.
I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is kind of how I look at it now because why would I want to waste? I don't have much energy. I literally feel it seeping out of me. Why would I want to waste it yelling on in the parking lot with some idiot
Right.
over something they care a lot about? You care a lot? Bitch, let me just move this car and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, yeah. So that's it. That's how, as you move forward, perhaps you will get closer to that
So
point.
I feel like I've gotten to a place to where I do that as much as possible. And
Mhm.
most days I get through the whole day.
Mhm.
But for what I think this day, like I had
Yes, it
like
was a long
five,
day.
yeah, like
Mhm.
I had like 5 or 6 other interactions that like I was like, yo, y'all ain't using common sense anywhere. And like I kept like getting it done, but I was like, yo, like every place can't be wrong today. Like
Mhm.
I feel like, and again, looking back on it, no interaction did anything grimy,
Right.
but like
It was
they
just a
each,
lot.
yeah, it
Each
was just a
one was
lot.
not great.
Right. Yeah. Like I happened to get like a C interaction from a bunch of people who were trying
Mhm.
their best, probably. and it just landed wrong that time. I get it. But I happened to be the customer that dealt with that at 5 places today.
Right.
So like my limit was gone. Like I didn't have it. But yeah, and I also told Gabby, I was like, we gotta come up with like a code where like when I feel like I'm on E, I need you to do the thing. Because usually like I insist on like if there's like an errand or something, like I let Gabby and the kids wait in the car. Like I'll go do it. And I was like, looking back on it, I should have stayed in the car and asked you to go to the Popeyes. It would have been a smoother move because I like it. I think what annoyed me is that I was on this line waiting for something I shouldn't wait on. Had to leave the line, go move the car that I shouldn't have to move, to then go back and redo a line.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, like if there's a time where like I can acknowledge that like I've spent my patience for the day. And I feel like I should have tapped you in, like, yo, listen, sub in for me. Normally I do this, but I need you to be the front of the family for the next couple hours. Because I can't deal with people today.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would have been the move. So I got to come up with a code where I can explain that.
You don't need a code. Literally, all you got to do is turn to her and go, "Hey, do you mind going in and getting that?"
Yeah.
There's your code. Just ask them. You and these fucking codes. I gotta come up with a code word for us to stop it. You grown. You got 2 almost grown people in your back seat.
Yo.
And a grown person next to you, and you trying to come up with a code word that means blah 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 blah. Just say blah blah blah. Just go, hey, look, I ain't got it in me. Can you please?
Okay, I'm gonna try that next time.
Yeah, and then she'll probably be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Gabby's cool. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you got to do. You don't need to come up with a. Here's the thing. You always want to come up with a scheme or a caper. That's what you want to do.
Yo, because then like I was the whole week after, like I've been trying to figure out like what kind of like weird sign language can I do to let Gabby know.
Do all that.
I want to be like, yo, like if I scratch my eyebrow like this, like I need you to sub in.
But here's the thing: you're trying to make a thing, not a thing. Those kinds of, she knows you well enough, right?
Right.
That you could turn to her, or she could already see a twitch in you, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it just let stuff like that kind of happen naturally. But for the most part, just ask for what you want.
Okay.
And I know sometimes that's tough to literally ask for what I don't really like doing that. Yeah. No, because you want to provide. You don't want to want anything. But sometimes you need a thing.
Yeah.
So you have to ask for the thing that you need, because no one's going to, because you've set the stage of just like, I'm the one that can take care of it. But sometimes you're not.
Right.
Sometimes you need a moment to take care of you. And you have to get somebody else to step in. And you got to get good at asking someone to help in those instances, or else you're going to burn yourself down to the white meat, and you're going to end up screaming at somebody in Burger King's not drive-through. You see what I mean? That's how the burnout is.
Nah, you right.
Yeah.
You right. Worst part, I wanted a Burger King burger, and I was gonna go because there was no line, and like now I felt like on principle, I can't go over that. I just made a big show. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna let this go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all tell me if that's Scorpio or Libra behavior.
I don't think that's a Scorpio. I think that's more of like a.
That's Gastor.
Yeah, that's like a Gastor thing. Just common. That's just garden variety hothead behavior. Is all that is. You're going to find that in You're going to find that in everybody. No matter the zodiac sign, you're going to find a hothead.
We trying, okay? But I am proud of myself. I really I did not lose my temper with the dude.
That's good.
I let it go. I didn't yell at anybody at Burger King, and I didn't do any like passive aggressive car parking. Okay.
Great. I am proud of you. So now, once you stop chanting, "I love my kids," we're good. We're absolutely good.
Oh yeah, baby. Something to aspire to in my 40s and 50s, baby. You know, I still got growth to do.
Yeah, you do. It's all growth. It's all growth till it stops.
Real talk. I'm with it. Let's get into the news. A slab of butter, believed to be hundreds of years old, is discovered in Donegal on a Donegal farm. That's right. A slab of butter believed to be hundreds of years old was discovered recently. The ancient butter chunk was unearthed while work was ongoing in Mikhail Boyle's farm in Laufad, Portneuf. Boyle spotted the block of butter peeking out of the ground after digger driver Alan Moore lifted a bucket of clay. Are these real? Like, am I bugging out? Like, none of this seems real.
Hold on. Here's what's going on. This is from Irish News.
Okay.
So there's a lot of accents and a lot of weird words, and you're like, "What am I having a stroke?"
Yo, bro.
No.
So I was reading. I was like, am I saying the right syllables?
Yeah,
Like, I don't hear the right.
No, that's what's going on. I understand. Like, because it's a different. Irish English is different from regular English. And
Yo,
so you're reading it, and it's like I'm looking at these names, and I'm like, I know that does a different thing, but I don't know exactly what it is because I'm not as good at Irish English as I'd like to be. I've been on a real British/Irish kick lately. So only what that means is I'm just making a list of English and Irish actors that I would have sex with.
Nice. Who's on the list?
Oh, well, do we really want to get into this? Okay. Let's hear more about the old butter. I feel like there's so much more about the old butter. So let's see. Oh, who was on the Irish list? Who would I? Oh, the little one, the little new one. I've been I've been kind of talking about it on stage, but the little one, Barry. I can't even say. Is it Kino? Kinoff?
Okay. Barry.
I just say Kino. He was in Saltburn. He looks like a wee little Irish lad who is just like little eyes and big cheekbones, always in a bar fight, wearing a frilly collar. Love this kid. If you look up, if you put in,
okay, I see him.
you see him. You've seen him and stuff.
Yeah,
you recognize him.
Okay.
I believe he's with some pop girly right now. Whoever is the one singing about espresso. I just call her the espresso girl. I can't learn everybody's names. So Cheeks with the espresso girl is dating that guy.
Okay.
And then right now, British wise, there's Nicholas Galitzine.
Nicholas Galitzine.
Galitzine. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was in this movie with Anne Hathaway that just came out, and then he was in a movie last year where he plays a gay. Oh, he was on a TV show with Julianne Moore also that just came out, and I watched those two things. And then he was in a movie last year where he plays a prince who falls in love with the first son of America, like the son of the president, and it's like a gay like rom-com, just silly goofy, and I watched that too. I'm like, well, let's see what that is, and that was adorable. I'm into that guy. He's yeah. So I've been watching, and then I fell back into my Blur obsession, the band Blur, and so it's been a real mess over here. A lot of been a lot of core blimey and crikey over in these parts. Oh, boy.
That's awesome. I used to have a crush on an Irish actress that I found out wasn't Irish and was a full on American.
Who?
And I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. I forget her name. She was the lady from The Killing.
The Killing.
Yeah, and like her first name was like spelled weird, like it's an M name. So I was like, oh, she's foreign, and like, nah, she's like from like Kansas or something. Like she's like so like American.
Was The Killing on Netflix?
Yeah, it was on one of the streamers. It was the show with like her and the co-star is the tall white dude that rebooted RoboCop.
Okay, that'll mean nothing to me. But Morel,
Yeah,
okay, all right,
yeah.
I see. I found her.
So I
Okay,
saw her name,
and yeah, no,
and
I get it. And you would think that she was European or
yeah,
something.
exactly. I was like, oh, she from out there, and she's just doing an accent, and like,
And
nah, she's straight up American.
oh, she's married to Alan Ruck.
Yeah, yo, he got taste. Shouts to Alan Ruck, yo. You doing
Yeah,
good things
shout
out
out to
there, my
Alan
G.
Ruck, man.
Real
Cameron
talk.
from fucking Ferris Bueller.
Straight up.
Always in my heart. Always in
That
my
dude's
heart.
one
That
at
guy.
life, yo. Dope. I love all his work. You know what I mean? He's doing his
Okay.
thing out there.
All right. Okay.
And she's legitimately dope. Like, I actually like her work.
Yeah. All right. I see. Oh,
Yeah.
so who did? Wait, there's another RoboCop.
Yeah, nobody saw it, but
Okay.
her co-star was the guy that like played the younger or newish RoboCop. It's probably like 10 years old at this point.
Okay.
But
No, that would totally make sense. I think it must be this Joel
yeah,
Kinnaman. Yeah, he looks like he's part robot and
yeah.
all cop.
Straight up.
He looks like a robotic yeah, I see now. Okay. Yes, a robotic police officer. It's in the jaw. Got it. I see. Yeah.
See? We bonded, Sha.
Yeah,
Okay?
we're bonding. We're bonding. Yes.
Look where old butter took us. Okay.
Yeah, well, you're right. Well, we can't either way. So basically, if y'all are wondering, somebody found some butter in the ground. It's old. There we go. You know how they do in Ireland. They're
Real
nuts
talk.
over there.
Real talk. Yo, low-key, this might be the greatest ad ever for moving to Ireland. Okay.
Think they got old butter in the ground?
Yo, if you want peace of mind, you got to move to a place where the top news of the day is, yo, we found 100-year-old butter. Like, how chill is
Okay.
streets? You know what I mean?
I'm now just looking at the article. Butter was sometimes buried in a bog to preserve it. Butter made without salt wouldn't last long, but the bog environment could lengthen its lifespan considerably as a means of natural refrigeration.
Mm-hmm.
Some people also buried butter as an offering to gods or spirits and were often encased in wooden containers. I don't know what's going on over there in Ireland, but I think I would like to see. There are places where I want to visit, and I realize I'm not a very activity like person. I literally just want to go and sit and watch people be people, but with a different accent. That's all I want to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Low key, I feel like that's kind of what we did when we was in when we did our show in like Long Island or something.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely. Yeah, just
yo, shouts to Ireland. Be real talk, man. Y'all told me. Okay. You got some beautiful single men for Sha. You know what I mean?
Maybe, I don't know. Look, here's the thing. For every for all the people who've ever messed up my name, I'm fine when an Irish person does it because first they say shillelagh, which is my understanding is a big giant like walking stick. And I love big giant walking sticks. So I'm like, if you want to call me big giant walking stick, I'm here for you, sir.
Yo.
Or madam, shillelagh. The spelling is wild, of course, like all the other words in here that had you thinking you were going insane. What they're doing with the alphabet, no one's doing right now.
If you would like to cop a chalet with Shalewa.
Shalewa? Yeah.
All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. You an Apple or Spotify listener. We appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't see the naturalness of this merch. She got a hurt ankle right now. Okay, she already collects sticks.
That's very true.
Real talk. You know what I mean? This is a match made in heaven. It's been supposed to happen. Okay. 5 stars. You want your Shalewa autograph? That's fine. It's an extra $49.99. Okay. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout out this week to Kate Hoffman and FCVLJ. Always appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am the admittedly Happy I didn't have a Shalewa when I was at Burger King.
Yeah,
Gastor
no,
Almonte.
that's true. That would have been a nightmare.
Oh man, with the Shalewa maker. Real talk, one of ones. Shalewa Sharpe. Oh man, this has been a look into ourselves and look into our past.
Yes.
Episode of the War Report.
Hey, if Gastor's kids are listening, he loves you. Just know that. Just know that.
Oh, that's perfect.